Good afternoon and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report with Maren Crowley, joined today by the head coach of the Hofstra women's golf team. Coach Crowley, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's, we started last week with our first show of the season. Team had their first tournament. Let's take a look back at the CNF Bank Invitational, which was down in Williamsburg, Virginia. The team finished 12th overall out of 21 teams. Your overall thoughts on the finish for your team?
Well, I do think it was a strong finish, just because if you look at the teams that we beat, most of them are from the Northeast. Typically we play Sacred Heart, Fairfield, Monmouth, those teams, and we definitely surpassed them. And the girls were able to compete with schools in our conference, Delaware and William and Mary. We played with them during the event, and I think it really showed how great that this team has become, and that these other schools, some of them it was their third event, second event, and this was our first event. So to come out that strong and to place 12 out of 21 teams, I think was a very big accomplishment. The first round, they did well. Their average is usually around 320. The next day they fell off a bit, and I was a little disappointed in that showing, just because I think that these girls are much better athletes than those scores portrayed. And on the third day, they improved by 6 strokes, but like I said, they should be around 320 or better. So there was a little disappointment, but you have to take it with a grain of salt that it was the first event of the season.
Okay. Looking at the individuals, Lauren Petty, she finished tied for 25th. Had 2 really good rounds, shot 75, which was 4 over par in the first and third round. Second round, slipped a bit, had an 85. What did you see from her that, why she struggled in that second round and was so good in the first and third?
Well, in the first, she actually was kind of struggling through the first 8 holes. On 9, she actually made eagle. So I think that was a huge momentum boost for her, and then she ended up doing real well on the back 9. The back 9 at this golf course was a par 35, so that kind of helps the scores a bit. The second day, really, I think she was trying to push for that low number again, instead of just being at ease and just playing her normal game, essentially. And the third round came back great. I know she was a little disappointed that she wanted to even go lower. Of course, everyone leaves shots out there, but overall she did great, especially for the first showing of the year. She's been practicing very hard, and it definitely showed this weekend.
Another player who started off really well and then, as you said, tailed off the last 2 rounds, Cynthia Cheng. 74 in her first round. She was tied for 4th individually after the first round, and then she struggled, had an 80 in the second round, then an 88 in the third round. Did you see something with her swing, or was it more mental?
I think it was mental fatigue. After the round, I spoke to the girls about some things that I want them to improve upon in the next few weeks leading up to the CAAs. I definitely want them getting more rest, eating better, and of course we can all use exercise to just mentally stimulate your brain as well. I really think that these girls, while they didn't physically feel tired, mentally they were. They're not thinking over the shots properly. Cynthia told me that on the first round, what really helped her the most was just focusing on a target. And I think as the days progressed, thinking that mental thought of, oh, just think about my target, kind of diminished a bit. The last round, I know she was very disappointed, but she made it her goal to come back on that back 9, which she did. I mean, her split was 48-40, so to improve that much on the back 9, I think really is a test of how she is as a player, and she made it her goal that she was going to break 90. She was not going to shoot over that, but she was very disappointed around. But I think 74 was also a career low for her, I believe, so that's a huge accomplishment as well.
Now, we talked about it being the first time out for the team. Now, I know, like we said last week, the weather's been warm, and you've had some practice rounds at Eisenhower Park. Obviously, a completely different course when you're talking about Kings Mill, right, which is going to host an LPGA championship this fall.
Right.
So you really can't play to the course. But did you see, being the first time out, did you see some rustiness, you think, from you girls, or?
For sure. Definitely with their short game, just because we don't really have a facility to be practicing bunker shots, chipping, pitching, and I think that that is, I mean, I know it's a huge part of the game, but I really think that that was a big detriment to all their scores. The putting was difficult for some of the girls in that they're not used to reading the green, and we had pretty early tee times every day. They were teeing off at 8 o'clock to 8:40. So with the light and with the dew, it's a little tough to read the green, and I know that was a challenge. As far as ball striking, they were fine with that, but I definitely think that their short game was suffering this past weekend.
All right, let's turn the page, look ahead, hop back in the van, back down to Virginia for
7 hours.
another long trip. We got the Richmond Spider Invitational on Monday and Tuesday. It's at the Independence Golf Club in Midlothian, Virginia. What can you tell us about the field and the tournament this week?
Well, there's going to be a lot of the same teams because quite a few schools are on spring break, so what they're doing is they're spending their spring break down there, and then it's an easy trip for them. So that's exciting that we're playing with a lot of the same teams, seeing Richmond for the first time this season. The girls played this tournament last fall. They really enjoyed the golf course, and they scored well. And this tournament, I'm bringing Allie Wakefield as an individual, so I'm going to have 6 girls, and she plays as an individual, so her score won't count for the team, but I think it's important for her to get back out there. She suffered from a back injury this past fall, and I know she's really amped up to get out there. But it is 36 on Monday and 18 on Tuesday, so this past weekend, that 54 holes has been spread out for 3 days. Now they're going to have that challenge of staying mentally in it, and obviously the physical of playing 36 holes in a day. And speaking with the girls, they're all very happy that we had this past tournament where they got to play on the Bermuda grass, because it's much different than playing on the rye. The ball sinks down and kind of catches your club, so they were happy that they had that experience. And hopefully the weather will be great, so I'm excited.
All right, well, here's to a good tournament this coming week, and
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
You've been watching the WB Mason Coaches Report with Maren Crowley. Thanks, and have a great day.